So I'm Alison Smith. I'm a judge for the Care Chef Catering Competition, and I'm judging on nutrition. I'm a dietitian by background, and I work for the NHS. That's a very good question. What made me want to be involved in judging? First of all, I was invited to, which was obviously the starting point. But as a dietitian, I've always been incredibly interested in food. That was what made me become a dietitian. And having worked with care homes for most of my career, I've always been really interested in talking and working with chefs in care homes and helping to get the combination of dietitian to chef so that we can have sort of equal conversations. And so being able to actually influence chefs from a nutrition perspective to support and enable them, I think is really important for me as a professional, and being able to basically put that in, or basically use that skill within the NACC, I think is really good. This, oh gosh, the number of times I've judged this, I think this might be my seventh year, something like that, I think. So I've been doing it for a number of years, and I'm really pleased that we are being able to focus much more on the nutrition side of things, and we also have some national resources now that really can support caterers in care homes to understand what good nutrition looks like. And so we're sort of, I think over the last couple of years, our ability to influence and how we can support people has come on in leaps and bounds. I would say it's changed in terms of there's more understanding about nutrition from a care home perspective. The thing that I think is currently changing, which is a really great thing, is the awareness from care chefs that really is starting to filter through that improving people's nutrition isn't just about adding extra calories. So it's not about adding cream and butter to everything, because actually we don't have any greater need for more fat or more saturated fat, which is what you find in cream and butter, than for older people than for younger people. But what older people do have a need for is more protein. They have a need for more of certain vitamins, and so we need to pack more nutrition into smaller amounts of food, but that doesn't mean put loads of fat in it. And so that's a real game changer, and that's what we're sort of supporting chefs to understand. So when I'm looking at the paper stage, I find as a dietitian, for me that is one of the most useful parts, is actually looking at the ingredients and working out the proportion of different ingredients that the chef is using. So making sure that there's the right balance of nutrients, the right balance of foods. So you've got a good protein content, but you've got a carbohydrate content as well, plus you've got fruit and vegetables. So you're always looking for the balance in terms of food. When it comes to actually judging on the day, I'm looking to find out what the chefs are actually, what their understanding is of nutritional needs of older people. And one of the things that on the finals today, I've been asking the chefs, what did they bring away? What did they take away from the regional finals in terms of nutrition? So we're looking for, what did you learn? What have you learned? What have you applied? Because obviously we will talk now. We have now the wonderful opportunity to talk with all the chefs and give feedback at the regional finals, and that enables us to help them to improve their dishes. So we're wanting to find out, have you used that? What did you do with it? So my top tip, my absolute top tip for anybody thinking to enter next year is go and look at the Care Home Digest. This is a new resource that only came out in July. It's freely available. It's on the British Dietetic Association website. Both of the nutrition judges, so Sophie Murray, who's also a judge with me on nutrition, both of us have been involved in producing it together with lots of other dietitians and caterers. It's endorsed by the National Association of Care Catering, and it gives really clear understanding of what nutritional needs are for older adults. And we're basically basing what we're judging in terms of nutrition on what the digest says. So if you're going to enter next year, make sure you've got that and you look at it and you understand it. Ask questions. If it's different from what you do already, that's okay, because everybody has to change. But find it, look at it, take notice of it, because that's what we'll be looking at next year. I think the Care Chef competition is incredibly important. I find it amazing how frequently, dare I say, as dietitians, some of my peers aren't necessarily thinking of working with caterers. Personally, I think this is really important. But the thing is, you can only know what you know. And enabling chefs to understand more about the nutrition side of things, as well as understanding more about how to do things, basically how to get advice from the chefs who are judging as well. I think it's incredibly important. It's driving up standards, and it's also showing everybody that just because you're cooking in a care home doesn't mean that what you can do is tremendously basic, or that the quality of food provided for residents in care homes should be any lower quality than you might find in any other setting, because actually these people have just as much right to good food that they enjoy, but that also meets their nutritional needs.